Over the last few years, I've done something that a lot of people would call me crazy for. Even my own parents and my own girlfriend call me crazy for even doing this. But I've spent over $50,000 on mentorship programs and masterminds. And it's the best decision that I have ever made. And in this video, I'm gonna go over the 10 things that I have learned over the last 3 years from my investments. And the last 4 are gonna be very specific for you content agencies. So make sure you stay tuned for those. But if this is your first time on the channel, my name is Julian and I build and scale content agencies. I also run a content agency myself. The first thing I learned was that you are a product of your own thoughts. Now that might be a little bit self-explanatory and a little bit of woohoo, but the moment that I enforced positive thoughts into my subconscious mind is when everything changed. You see, you can have so many perspective on things. You can have a perspective on why is this happening to me and a victim mindset, or you can have a perspective of I'm just getting one step closer to my goal. I chose to have the perspective that I'm just one step closer to my goal. So no matter what was happening, any pitfall that I have, any obstacle that I had, all of my thoughts are always positive. I always believed that I was on the right path. I always believed that God had a plan for me. But if I were to have bad thoughts and a victim mentality, always wondering why bad things are happening to me, then I wouldn't be where I'm currently at right now. I'd probably be depressed. I'd probably be fat. I don't know, but I wouldn't be where I am right now. So the first thing you have to understand is if you're always thinking negative, if you're always doubting yourself, then you're never really going to hit your full potential or be able to work at the maximum rate that you should be. And again, I know that sounds all woohoo, but Alex Ramosi made a perfect video about this. There's 3 common traits that every successful person has. And the one that stuck out to me the most was every successful person has a superiority mindset, meaning that they think that they're better than everyone else. They believe in themselves. You are a product of your own thoughts. If you control your thoughts, you're going to control your actions. Control your actions and you control your destiny. The second thing is your environment will make or break you. And I fully realized this when I went to Tennessee, Nashville during the winter. And no hate on Tennessee. I know people love it. And this is just my experience. I went during Christmas time. And when I went, it was very gloomy. It was very cloudy. It was rainy. It was cold. There was 0 sun when I was there for the whole week. And all of the trees were dead. And literally after a few days, I almost felt, I'm not going to say depressed because I've never really felt depressed, but I definitely didn't feel like amped up. And then I went back to where I originally am from, which is Florida, Boca Raton, which is like an hour away from Miami, where there's beaches where the sun's always blooming at you. And my energy levels just shot back up. My motivation shot back up. I felt like myself again. And that's just one scenario of your environment can make or break you. But you want to be in a place where you can strive, where you feel happy, where you feel good about yourself. The second iteration is your friends. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Now, we all know this saying, if you hang out with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th. Or if you hang out with 5 rich people, you're going to be the 6th. And that is 1000% true. If you're living in a small town with very small-minded people who are very judgmental, who are always bitter, then that's not going to be an environment where you want to be and where you're going to strive. And sometimes your family is going to be the biggest thing that is holding you back. Something that's very unfortunate. And sometimes you're going to have to leave your hometown. Sometimes you're going to have to leave your house in order for you to actually excel. You want to be in an environment where you can strive, where you can remove distractions, where you feel good about yourself. That's why I'm currently in Colombia right now. My environment is so dialed in. I have a maid that always comes and cleans my clothes and irons it. I have a chef who brings me food every single day. My gym is walking distance. I have a boxing coach that comes now. I have a massage person that comes once a week. I get my haircut person to come once a week. My ability to lock in and get stuff done has never been this productive, and it's all because of my environment. And number 3, life is just a game of continuously educating yourself. Never stop exploring. It's crazy to think how many things I am learning every single week, every single month, even every single day. Like, you think you have something figured out, and then you expose yourself to another person or you expose yourself to new information and you're like, holy shit, there's just so much more to learn. And of course, there's always level to things, but I think that's what's the best thing about entrepreneurship. It's almost a game of leveling yourself up. And you as an individual, I mean, you only have one life. So you want to treat this like a game almost. Continue to level up your character. Continue to educate yourself, because the day you stop educating yourself, the day you stop learning is the day that you're going to start losing. I've been reading a lot of books lately. You know, I kind of don't watch YouTube anymore. I don't really listen to podcasts. I've just been reading books in my Bible, and I love it. I love reading stories. I love just gaining information, gaining wisdom. And the thing about books is people have literally documented their whole life into this thing. So why wouldn't you want to read about a successful person's experiences, gain their wisdom, gain everything they've learned in just a 200-page book? That to me is so fascinating. So never stop learning. I'm telling you right now, your learning is going to start right after college. I did not learn shit in college. I don't use anything that I've learned in college. I mean, don't get me wrong. I utilize the basics, reading, writing. But other than that, learning is really going to start right after college. Number 4 is you are the best investment that you can possibly make. And it's not crypto. It's not the stock market. It's not e-com. It's not anything. You are your own best investment. Your education, yourself, is an infinite ROI. I'd much rather be a person worthy and capable of running an 8 to 9 figure business than catching a simple crypto pump. You are your own life insurance, almost. You're your own insurance policy. If you were to lose everything today, you now have the education. You now know how to build a business from the ground up and be able to make everything back. And that's because you invested into yourself. Whether that's your body, whether that's your health. I mean, honestly, your health is one of the biggest things. Half the game of winning in this is just literally outlasting your competition. You usually have to outlive your competition. That's really it. Invest into your health, invest into your education, invest into your experiences. Sometimes you have to be selfish in order to serve others. Help yourself out first, and then you can help out others. Just like they say on the airplane, put your mask on first and then assist others. That's the same thing with life. Invest into your education, invest into yourself, and I promise you, your ability to serve others is going to skyrocket. Number 5 is you need to be a visionary and lead your business. And what this means is specifically for content agencies, if you are stuck in fulfillment, if you are stuck in the day-to-day admin tasks, you are not a visionary. You're not even a COO. You're just a glorified freelancer. You've literally created another 9-to-5 job for yourself. And the problem with that is you aren't able to steer the ship to safety for your employees. You aren't able to provide for your employees. You need to learn how to be a proper CEO. You need to learn how to be a leader. But in order to do that, you need to learn how to run a business. You need to learn how to systemize things. You need to learn how to build structures. You need to learn how to build a team, delegate tasks, buy your time back so you can focus on the most important things in business, so you can actually scale, so you can continue to provide for your employees. Because if your head is always down on the ground and you're stuck in fulfillment, you never have time to look up and to see what's actually happening in the game, so you can maneuver, so you can pivot, so you can see what's the best next direction or next move that you can take to scale your business. Number 6, comparison is a hidden energy that can literally kill you. And let me ask you this. Are you a person that always overthinks things, that always doubt yourself? You always have imposter syndrome. You always overanalyze things. You always procrastinate. If you're one of those people, I guarantee you it's because you compare yourself to others. And 95% of the time that happens right after you doom scroll on Instagram. If you doom scroll on Instagram, you start comparing yourself to others. You doubt whether or not what you're doing is right. You doubt whether or not you're in the right vehicle. And that's because if you go on Instagram, you're going to see a video of a 16-year-old who made 100 grand in his first 30 day of business. And then you're going to compare yourself to that person. And then you're going to overanalyze everything. One thing that has completely changed my life is literally not going on my phone in the first 5 hours of the day. It was 2:30 and my screen time was literally 30 minutes. I don't even know what it's at right now. It's probably at an hour and a half. Stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your journey. Put your phone away. Have a plan and execute on that plan and give that plan enough time, because you don't need a different plan. You don't need a different vehicle. You don't need more knowledge. 90% of the time, you need to give your current plan more attention, more time, more energy. And you need to implement on the knowledge that you currently have instead of gaining more. Number 7 is never neglect client acquisition. Now this I had to learn the hard way. Back when I was running my old agency around 2 years ago, we were only getting clients from referrals, and we scaled to like 15K a month. We thought we were the shit. Everything was going good. And then all of a sudden 2 clients dropped in the span of like 2 months. And literally there goes 50% of our revenue. Just literally cut in half, our money just thrown away, like just vanished. And we neglected client acquisition. So we literally did not have a predictable way to get more clients. We couldn't replace that void. We couldn't make our money back. And that's because we simply so stuck in fulfillment. We thought that referrals were always going to come in, and we did not have a predictable client acquisition system to bring us more clients. And that was a very shitty feeling. So never neglect client acquisition. Always outreach, always have inbound coming in, always have some ads running, always have a way to book more appointments. Because when that day comes where 2 or 3 clients drop in a month, and it will happen, you need to be able to replace that void as soon as possible so you can serve your team, serve your family, but also serve yourself. Number 8 is be client obsessed. These are 1 out of 4 core values, is being client obsessed. You want to make sure that the client comes first and you're providing the absolute best service that you possibly can. Because acquisition honestly isn't that hard. What's hard is being able to generate a great service or great product that your client loves and that client's able to tell everyone else. Retaining clients is the hard part, guys. You want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to give your client results, but the best possible service out there. Number 9, time is your most valuable resource, not money. You have to figure out what your hourly time is worth. And here's why. You should not be doing admin tasks. If your time is worth, let's just say $400 an hour or even $200 an hour, then you shouldn't be doing admin tasks that are not worth $200 an hour. You need to be focusing on doing the most impactful things that you possibly can that is going to move the needle in your business. For example, me editing this YouTube video, it is definitely not worth my time. So I'm going to delegate that task to my team so they can take care of it. Ironing my clothes is not worth $500 an hour. Cooking food isn't worth $500 an hour. The point is you need to protect your time because it's the most valuable asset out there. Invest your money into tasks that you can delegate, and half the time the people who you delegate the tasks to are 95% better than you at doing it, especially if you find the right people, because 20% of tasks are going to move 80% of the business. And the other 80%, what you need to do is you need to figure out that 80%, and you either need to automate it, delegate it, or just simply eliminate those tasks. And number 10, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Meaning motivation is only going to take you so far. You need to have systems in place. You need to have systems in place that no matter what is going to happen, things are going to get done. And there's 2 forms of systems really. There's self-discipline, which I consider a system, and then there's actual systems in your business. No matter what you are currently doing, you need to have systems for each thing. You need to have a system to generate more clients. You need to have a system to fulfill your clients. Because again, motivation isn't what's going to take you to your goals. It's going to be discipline, it's going to be systems. Because systems never fail, but there's always human error. And we are often our biggest enemy, and we always get in our own way. And talking about systems, I just created a YouTube video talking about my content leverage system, which is the most efficient way to generate more leads, to book more calls, and to scale your high ticket offer. If you want to check that video out, just click right here. But with that being said, those are the 10 things that I have learned after spending over $50,000 in the last few years. And to leave you off with a little bonus one, it takes money to make money. And everyone's an entrepreneur until the invoice hits. Do not be scared to invest into yourself, because I promise you, you are your best investment. I'll see you in the next YouTube video, guys. Like and subscribe for more. Peace.